a little bit of my story. I had my first child at 22. She was born with medical difficulties. 2 months after I had her, we were both in the car accident, which I was on life support, brain injury, coma. My whole left side was paralyzed, fractured pelvic bone, and I'm blind in my left eye. So rehabilitating, I had to learn how to walk, speak properly, which I probably still struggle, but bear with me. But I had to learn to speak properly, walk. My balance still messed up. I had no memory. Our memory loss was severe, and now I have photographic memory. Like if someone tell me something, it comes back, or like I can remember fine details. I could see the moments. Um, so I had to recondition my mind because at first all I remember was bad things, everything that hurt, people that died, that hurt, pain. That's all I remember really. So I was behind time as well. So I was behind time. I had memory loss. I didn't know who I was, where I was, what was to come, how I was going. But then I started having these visions of where I wanted to go and what I needed to do to get there was all on him. He showed me the way all through it. Like it was a lot. So and then lack of support. I didn't really have no one helping me and no one really there for me like I needed. I was still there for everyone else while I was being that person who needed the most help. So it was a lot. So I came around to I remember sitting there one day, I'm like, I'm not finna I'm disabled. I can't do nothing. Like I'm not finna just sit here. So I'm like, what can I do? Okay, this is my second chance to follow my dream. So I wanted to go back to school. Then it's like I had this debt with school, so it's like, oh God, now I can't go follow that dream. Know what I'm gonna do? And when I tell you that he was with me the whole way, like even before the accident, the job I held, everything was lined up. I'm gonna go backwards. First, because of what I've been through, childhood traumas and stuff, I was afraid to be a mother. I felt like the choices were too hard to the choices a mother had to make was too hard if because I seen how choices go with motherhood, between a man and the child. So I didn't want to be put in that because I felt like I was too weak to bear that for right now. I was afraid to be a mother. So I was like, okay, when I get old enough, I will adopt a disabled child. And my thought process there was that because I wanted to be needed, I wanted to feel love. So a disabled child that I have to care for, I knew they're gonna love me. I knew they're gonna really need me, because I wanted to feel needed and wanted. And that was from childhood trauma. It taught me what happened after trauma was known about was what really affected me. What happened afterwards. So after everything was said and done, the actions of people around me, what it taught me was that I didn't matter. I'm not worth it. I'm not nobody. Who am I? That's what I grew up feeling inside of me. So, like, all my actions followed that going forward. Relationships, friendships, everything. And so, comparing, expectancy, and accepting people for who they are. Those are three main big factors I had to learn. So I expected people to be there for me and reach out to me and help me like I would do them. No, that's not the case. Accepting people for who they are. Took me a long time to get there because I had to learn the process and no one was teaching me. No one was helping me through the process. I had to do it on my own. So I'm having all these other challenges that I faced: the PTSD, the depression, the anxiety, lack of support, lack of motivation, like not when I didn't want to live. Like for what? What am I here for? What did he keep me here for? And like seeing someone, I had my first dose of like reality when I seen someone laying in a bed on life support just like me. He was an ex friend from childhood, but I seen him laying there, and I'm like, oh, he gonna make it. He gonna make it. I made it, so he gonna make it. And the reality hit when he didn't make it, and I felt like all these people are here for him and love him, and I didn't have that. So why did you keep me here and not him? So that was my first touch of um, whew, um, survivor's guilt, because I survived and he didn't. I know more people wanted him there than me. Okay, I'm gonna teach you about this too. When I go back, I feel the pain like I'm right there. But I'll teach you how to come back to reality and come back to you. I'm here for a reason. Like I have a reason. He kept me here for a reason. I'm here for a reason. And breathe it out and come back. Okay. That's just how I felt at that moment. So yes, that was like reality check to me. Like I'm here. I'm still here. Why did he keep me here? So that's when I really began my search to find out why am I still here. Okay, so okay, I guess a lot. So after that, so the school thing, somebody somebody in my mind say, ask this person. I ain't never taught this person. I ain't never really. I don't ask nobody for help like that, for money at that. But it was sent to me by God. So I told this person my plan and what I wanted to do, but I just need to get this debt out of my, out of my way so I can do it. And like that, he sent it and paid it. I'm like, oh my gosh. So like, okay, so now I'm doing what I'm saying I'm doing. I'm keeping my word. So I went to school, but I have these challenges. Like I have panic attacks. I have all these learning difficulties. I have new everything. Like, how am I gonna do this? What am I gonna do? So I found out about the accommodations in college, accommodations for those whose special needs or disadvantages. So I got involved with them. They allowed me to have a tape recorder. I got to be in a room separated from everyone else because my anxiety, like everyone getting up, finished with the test. I'm like, oh God, how much time I got? So my anxiety was too strong to be around people while I'm trying to concentrate. And then me reading the questions, I had to read it like 10 times just to understand what it's asking me. Because we're talking about psychology stuff. We're talking about, yeah, I already had some school under my belt, so I didn't jump full blast. I just had to take some prep courses to get me back right. Just one semester of prep courses. And I did that. Oh, and let me go backwards too. It's a lot. It's a lot. But like when I first started, before I went to school, retraining my brain to remember things. And like I didn't know counting, timetables, multiplication. Like I didn't remember my daughter's birthday. I remember them asking me my daughter's birthday. And I didn't remember. I didn't know what I named her last name. Like that was the most hurtful feeling ever. And from that point on, I said, you know what? I would never forget again. So I just started repeating it in my head, repeating it until it stuck. And that's how I started remembering really. Because like my last 2 weeks in rehabilitation is when I started remembering. I don't remember nothing else before that. I have spots and blocks of what came back to me and like I have spots of visions of scenarios and what people have told me came back to me after they told me. So and then think about your worth and who I was. Like my self-esteem was already none. Cause like who am I? I'm nobody. If choices could be made over me and despite what happened to me, you could still, it's like who am I? So the self-esteem was already there, and then once I grew to learn what other issues I had, once I started trying to walk and stuff, I felt like you could see my disabilities. So self-esteem was even worse. And then my left eye, it started veering to the left. I mean, the right. It started going to the left. And that was another self-esteem issue. So I had to overcome a lot. We will get there. We will talk more about this and I'll share more of my story. It's a lot. So I have to be mentally prepared to share this because it's heavy. It's heavy. I can do it though. I can do it. And I will do it to help many people. I would do it. I would do it.